Good evening and
Good
welcome
evening and welcome
everybody.
everybody.
I'm not sure
I'm
if
not
we
sure
can
if we
hear
can
this
hear this
feedback that we have
feedback
because
that
I
we
have
have
a
because I
feedback
have a
going on. But
feedback going on, but
so if anyone is out there, please let us know if there is a feedback. But definitely welcome, welcome, welcome to Mindset Reset and the Power Series with your coach, Frederica Black, and myself, Ruth Ann, Coach Ra. And we are here this evening to just blow the minds as we always do, and we just enjoy and love doing it. So let me have my business partner come on and welcome herself. Come on down, Coach Black. Coach Black, are you there? We can't hear you. Okay, I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, so Coach Black will be on in a few seconds. I think her system just froze, so I will definitely continue on until she comes on. As usual, we test this all day. I mean, it's so hilarious. We do this like a couple times during the week. We test it on the day from the morning. We test it in the afternoon. We test it for about an hour before we come on, and we always seem to have something just happen right at the end. But I want everybody to understand that, nothing great comes without trials and tests. And if you don't have those trials and tests, you have to wonder why. You really need to have trials and tests in order to make yourself better. Just like anything with gold or a diamond, it's such a precious metal, it's such a precious stone. But the heat that has to go through in order to become what it is absolutely incredible. And we probably, if we were told prior to having to go through all of the pressure or the drilling or the heat, we would say, you know what? I just prefer going it by myself or going it alone. I'm waiting for Coach Black to come back on the line, which I'm sure she'll be back in a few seconds. But definitely, for those that are joining us again this week, thank you so much for coming on board. Basically, we're going to be going over what we started to speak about in the present weeks, the weeks gone past, and we will be talking about the next step. So for those that are just joining us, last two sessions, we've been talking about the importance of really trying to rid stress from your body. Not only does it actually hinder you in your ailments, it hurts the body because it excites the nerves. When you excite the nerves, you get very sick. So we gave some strategies on how to go about eliminating the stress from your body, and we had covered two steps, and I'm not going to go over those steps right now. I'm going to tell you that if you miss those two steps, to please go back to either FredericaBlackCoaching.com, www.FredericaBlackCoaching.com, or check me out at http:// coachmeruthann.com, and just click under the Power Series and you will find us there. Basically, this week, the next step that you need to do is those numbers that you put on the side of all of your stress points. That's good. Got that going. Then you were supposed to sort it out into a category. So you should either have business, financial, emotional, your love life, your educational factor, your debt factor, your whichever you decided were your categories. And then from there, you would actually put each stress into a category. Once you've created that, you would then total it up. So now you have a total. And from that total, you will now know which area of your life is actually stressing you. And like we said before in previous webinars, is that sometimes what you thought was stressing you actually isn't the main stress factor, and you actually have something else that is bothering you. So definitely, because I know with me, I found out that it was something else. I thought it was one thing and it was actually completely different. And after you have done that, now it's to take that one item, because now you want to break it down. You don't want to focus on everything that's on that paper. You don't want to focus on, say you have, I think I had, let's see how many, I think it was like maybe 8 categories or 7 categories. So you're not going to focus on those 7 categories together. You're going to now focus on the one that has the most stress to it. So that's the one that has the highest point value. Now remember where the points came from. The points came from you putting a point value stress 1 to 10, 10 being highest, on each item that stresses you. So this total value is now your main, what's stressing you. So say, let's pick one. Say it was business. Now we would go through and we would say, okay, what assets do I have in my life that can assist in getting rid of the stresses that I have in business? Now, when we think of assets, usually we think of physical, material things. So we would think of a house and property and all this different stuff. But that's not what we're actually looking for. We're actually looking for assets as in people, because people are technically your biggest asset that you have. So that means your network, people that you deal with on a daily basis, weekly basis, friends, co-workers, whatever it is. That is considered your assets. So you'd be looking for people, say, like in my case, it's maybe I need someone to do something. So who in my network can assist me with that? That person becomes an asset. So that is our next step. Now that does take some time to actually go through, so I'm not going to say that it's a magic formula, but it does take some time, because I know with me it took me actually a few days to actually figure out, well, who were my assets, because I'd never really heard of that concept of someone being an asset to me other than a physical product. So that was basically one of the first parts that we wanted to cover today, to make sure that you got that part of the lesson from the previous sessions that we did. So for those, oh, she's back, she's back, she's back. Okay, so I've just been going rambling on, girl, rambling. So I'll just introduce her again. Coach Frederica Black, are you there?
I am here. Thank you so much, everyone. This is your Mindset Coach Frederica. I am here to wake up your greatness. You're in for a treat this evening. I'm so glad to be here with you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, Frederica, let me just catch you up quickly. I was just going over the third part or fourth part of the series that we had already started in the last 2 parts, where I was just telling them to now find out what was the greatest stress point and to now find their assets. So we've gone through that section, and so now I just want us to go on to another area where I want people to understand that you got to be hungry. And hunger, I mean not just eating some Kentucky Fried Chicken or some good peas and rice, or, you know, the season in the Bahamas is crabs, so some crab and rice. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the hunger for wanting a change in your life. The hunger for either, because I know sometimes people, oh, they're only talking about wealth. No, I'm talking about in general. The hunger of what you want to see in your life, that change. What are you going to do? Because think about it. Let's compare it to food. Since it's a food word, let's compare it to food. If you really want some conch fritters, or if you want whatever your favorite meal is, you're going to find a way to get it. So now we need to take that same concept and put it into the things that we want to see ourselves achieving. What are we doing, and what are we actually going above and beyond to make sure that that happens? How are we making sure that whatever we have decided we would like to see in our future, that we are accomplishing it? Coach Black, are you there?
Yes, I am, Coach Ra, and I agree with you 110%. I is not there, and we know that when we want something to eat, we start to see everything around us that represents food. And so I want to suggest to people that are hungry for success, that are hungry to take their life to another level, that are hungry to get rid of stress.
Definitely.
Focus on what it is you want. Get hungry. Because if your stomach makes a growl, you need food. Every food joint that you pass on the side of the road, you begin to smell the sense of the food. You begin to become more hungry. What is happening is your brain is starting to read what you see around it. And so in the same way, the things that we want to fulfill in our lives, you cannot settle with being mediocre. You cannot settle with being average. To get what you want, you have to do what you've never done. And the stress test that we are taking you through will definitely help you along the way. So I agree with you 110%, Coach Rob.
Yeah, because I think that's very important for people to understand that hunger, that desire, that need to want more, because that is what's going to propel you when there are so many naysayers around you. Oh no, you can't amount to anything. You know whose daughter you are. You know where you came from. You didn't have this when you were growing up. Blah blah blah. Because you're going to have those people that, I don't know, they just be hating just for the fun of hating. I don't know what's going on with them. But you really need to have that hunger, like that deep hunger. You know that hunger that gives you the bellyache and you pain, feel like you got gas, all sorts of things happening. That's that hunger that you need, that you're going to do whatever it takes to quench that hunger. Now, I don't mean anything negative and illegal, guys, so don't be telling them that Coach Rod tell you do it. Anything that is positive, that is going to create the results that you ultimately need to see. So that hunger is a serious thing. You got to have that drive. So if you hear nothing today, understand that you must have the hunger to succeed in whatever your endeavors are. And remember, Coach Black and I are not trying to guide you to a specific this or specific that. We want you to guide to whatever the best you is. And you, like Coach Black always says, the authentic you. Whatever is the real you and the best you, that's what we're trying to bring out. And so whatever your main goal is, your main objection in life is, that is where we want to guide you. And just these simple steps, and it's amazing how you can do programs upon programs upon programs of personal development, and you will find that these basic principles literally are like stepping stones through each program. So it's not even like you have a multitude of different techniques. It's these same principles that we're just trying to impart on you now, that you got to have hunger. You got to have that yearning, that drive. And you need to organize that stress. Anything else you want to add to this, Coach Black, before we move on? I think she froze again. Coach Black, are you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
As you were talking about hunger and authenticity, my mind went on things that I personally like to eat.
Okay, you're freezing a little bit.
I believe that goes on with signal. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. I can hear you now.
Individually differ from the things that other people like to eat. Yes, we may have common with others, but there are traits and things that we like to eat. The fact that everything happens as to what it is we should be focused. So in the same way, I want people to think of what it is that you really like to do. Really enjoy eating. And you can focus on it. And in the same way that you would go ahead and go to any extent to obtain what it is you want to eat, I want to suggest to you to get that same kind of hunger for the thing that you want to see in your life. Because that desire is signaling you to get you on the path to fulfilling your purpose. I do not believe that there are any coincidences in our lives. I believe that innate desire, that burning desire that's within you, is signaling to tell you this is what your purpose to do. And so I know Coach Ra is going to give you some tips that will continue to help to give you those cravings, those hunger, the hunger to achieve what it is you want. And so, Coach Ra, I know we have done this, and we have seen this work for us. Go ahead and continue to share with them what it is they need to do to get to the next level, to eliminate stress in their lives. I just wanted to add that because I know burning desire that's within you. Get hungry for your dream.
Yes, definitely. One of the things that Coach Black and myself have done over and over again, and she trains on it as well, and so do I, on affirmations and, you know, getting up and just saying what you'd like to see in your life on a daily basis. Another pointer, of course, definitely that Coach Black and I stand behind 100% is vision. And we've said this, I think we said this in our first broadcast or even the second broadcast, I don't recall, making sure that whatever you want to see, your brain has to understand that that is what you want. And if it does not understand that, it will start combating it, meaning it will actually start becoming something that fights against you versus something that's working for you. But having a vision of what you want, so that means printing pictures of every single thing you wish to see. If it's that Bugatti car that you want, if it's that mansion house, if it's even just a jacuzzi in your bathroom, if it's a stack of $1 million, whatever it is that you decide you want to see, you must manifest it into the future. So whatever it is, get a picture of it, put it on your phone. You know, get your phone, put it on your screensaver. If you want to lose weight, take a picture of the slimmer self that you were. See, what I'm trying to get at, and what Coach Black is also trying to get at, is that we're not only dealing with the wealthy you. Yes, we want to see everybody wealthy. That would be phenomenal. We would love to have you wealthy in the material, but we also need you wealthy in the spiritual and in the physical. So whatever that is, whatever your authentic, perfect self is, that's what we're going for. So whatever your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, your visions, you got to put them down. You know why? Because when your brain starts seeing it, guess what your brain starts saying? Oh, Ruth Ann could do this, you know. Now, when I was screaming and going crazy, oh, girl, I'm going to make $1 million this year, my brain was saying, like, how are you going to make $1 million? Have you ever made $1 million before? So how are you going to make it now? That is what your brain does, because guess what it's doing? It's actually protecting you. So when it's negativity, you're battling against yourself because your brain is trying to protect you. So in order for you to assist your brain, to not challenge you in what you're trying to decide, because sometimes your dreams are huge. You're going with it. It's like, because I know with me, my dreams are big. I love it. See here? This is something that Coach Black and I do. We do these sessions where basically you create your vision board. And this should be everywhere. So I have this printed out and it's posted. Then I have an 11 by 17 version of it as well. And I post that. And then you can break down each vision and post that as an individual picture. So whatever it is you decide that you want to see in your life, you can create it. And you know what's so phenomenal? When the brain comes on your side, man, everything just starts falling into place. You're like, well, how did I meet so-and-so? And this one came into my life. Why? Because you know what? The brain is saying this is important to her. This is important to him. This is important to you. So the brain starts making sure that whatever avenue needs to happen, or whatever door needs to open, or whatever path needs to be chopped, guess what? It clears the path for you. And then you're sitting there going with your mouth open, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So remember, guys, whatever you want to see in your future, you have to open the door. You need to start it. It starts here. And from here, pen it. From there, print it. From there, plaster it. Plaster it everywhere. And so what if someone thinks you're crazy? Whose dream is it? Once again, like Coach Black said, the hunger. Whose dream is it? The hunger. Whose dream is it? Coach Black, do you want to finish off this section?
Thank you so much, Coach Ra. When I think about hunger, you know, these things make me excited. This is what drives me to live every day. Because I know there was a time when I was no longer hungry for my dreams because there were people that were telling me that the dreams that I had were too big for me. There were people that made me feel like I wasn't even worthy of the dreams. And then that subconscious part of me that I had come to know says, Frederica, you can't do that. You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. And once I began to realize that there is a power that is within me that is greater than everything that is around me, I was able to get hungry again for the things that I want. And so what I want to do today for you is to help you to start to want again, to start to crave what it is you want in your life. I want you to get hungry because your dreams are valid. They are attainable. And you already possess what you need to create them. What you must do, though, is begin to believe in yourself. I love that Coach Ross shared that vision board with you. About 7 years ago, a vision board is what made me believe again. It's a simple tool, but that made me believe. Let me tell you why. Because every day that I started to see the thing that I wanted, it gave me like just 1 degree more belief that I could achieve it. Until my belief system was to a place where I knew that I could achieve it. And then what my brain started to do? My brain started to do everything to create that. Your dreams are valid. You have a live the. Get hungry though. Not hungry. If you're not hungry, go out there and find what it is you want. Get hungry. Go ahead, Coach Ra, take it away.
Yeah, another thing I just want to remind people, the vision board, it's going to keep changing. So don't get caught up on that. It's a process. You know, I know Coach Black and myself, we actually are coaches to each other. We are actually accountability partners as well. And so many things, sometimes it's like, I'll go to her and she'll be like, Ruth Ann, you know, go ahead and try it, but, you know, make sure that this is something that you really want, you know, really review it, make sure that this is what it is, you know. But sometimes if you don't have that person that's there, you get lost as well. So I want y'all to remember that Coach Black and myself, we offer those services as well. And, you know, we are here to mentor. We are here to be that accountability partner for persons that don't know who to turn to, because sometimes the people around you are naysayers. And it can, I mean, trust me, until those around you actually see the capacity you have latent within you, then only then do they suddenly become these believers in you. I love my husband to death, but I know initially he probably thought I was insane. You know, I remember when I was in a network marketing company, and I wanted to make this goal, and the goal was 100,000 in volume. Let me tell you something, guys. I told myself I would not go past this month. I got that number, 100,000. Y'all see this face? Stank. I had 100,000 plastered all over my house. You walk to the bathroom door, you see 100,000 plastered on it. You look up above the front door, it's 100,000. You look over the couch, it was 100,000. You going into the kitchen was 100,000. You go on my desk, 100,000. Everywhere you turned, there was 100,000 plastered somewhere in my house. And I'll let Coach Black tell you what was the results of me posting 100,000 all over the place, because everybody thought I was insane. Coach Black, tell him what happened. She's muted. Hold on, guys. Sorry about the technical difficulties. She's muted. Hold on 1 second.
Hey,
just likes to mute herself. Okay, there we go. This muting thing.
I'm sorry, there's a dog barking in my background, and I did not want it to distract you, so that's why I kept muting myself up. But
well, that's the poodle.
What it is that when Coach Rob started to post the 100,000, literally when I saw it, I was like, oh man, this chick is crazy. Because sometimes even though we do the work, you look at it, you be like, oh, she's tripping. But the reality is that when she posted that 100,000, Ruth Ann found a way to make 100,000 in volume. The capacity to create 100,000 did not happen when she posted the 100,000. She always possessed the capacity. But when she started to post the 100,000, she gave herself permission to let Ruth Ann, who knows how to create, and the Ruth Ann that knows how to create 100,000 in business volume, superseded herself. And I can guarantee you right now that if Coach Raw was to post signs of 200,000, she will create $200,000 in business volume. Let me tell you why I know that. Because we were born with the gifts that we have. Yes, they need to be developed. And that comes with learning and putting yourself in an environment with people who believe in you and with people who will continue to push you, but the capacity is already there. And so she put 100,000, but she superseded it. Coach Ra, you went like 101?
No, actually, I think it was 107,000. I think we did.
Okay, 107,000. Now, what's so funny is that a couple months prior to that, she was having difficulty getting 2,000 in volume. And we would laugh and we would say, I remember when 2,000 was difficult. Now you don't even have to think to create 2,000. She no longer has to think to create 100,000. She knows how to do it. You know how to create your dreams. You do not believe in yourself enough. So what you need to do is, one, find someone who will believe with you, who will believe for you. And two, get the tools to help you to start to see that you can do it. So just how Coach Rod did, put up signs, put up pictures. If you can internalize it, you will be able to externalize it and have it manifested. I love this because I know this works. And what it is that this is so easy. Because once you begin to believe, right? See, if you start to believe that you could do it, you will find a way to do it. So action automatically comes. And guess what? The next thing is manifestation. I love that I was able to say that I will not work in a traditional business. Were there times that I did not believe? Definitely. But I said it to myself so much. And then I made tiny steps every day. And today, I live the lifestyle that I always wanted. I actually, on a Monday, yes, it's a holiday in the Bahamas, but most of my peers are working today. Today, I had the great privilege of being with my grandmother. And what we were doing, we were out looking at bush medicine and stuff. She was teaching me things that I really want to know. I have the time to do that now. This kind of stuff, resetting your mindset, having the knowledge of how to do this, gives you the power to create the life you want. Do you believe that you can do it? That's the real question. The next question is, are you willing to put in the work? Take it away, Coach Rob.
Yeah, that's the thing right there. That last piece, I think, one, yeah, do you believe in you? Because one thing I can tell you about me, I believe in me. And, you know, anyone that has been working with me business-wise, entrepreneurial-wise, in network marketing, or in general, knows that, one, I empower others. I will always see somebody and I will always try and uplift them and take them to the next level, whether it benefits me or not. That's one. But I believe in me. You know, and people will come and they'll be like, girl, you doing it. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing it. Now, you know what? That day or that month, I might not be doing it. But in my mind, I'm going to be somebody and I'm going to be a great person. And I'm going to have that great business. And I'm going to be a millionaire. And I'm going to have the house that I want. And I'm going to have my girls and boys club of the Bahamas that it's on every single island where kids can come and learn crafts for free and learn handiworks for free, learn how to do something with their hands. That is what I'm going to have. That will be manifested. I speak that into existence. And you know, a while back I was like, what do you mean people be speaking things into existence? But I realized you gotta say it. You gotta say what you want to see in the future. You can't say how you feel right now. You know, it's so amazing, and I don't even know if Coach Black realizes that this morning I spoke to her, and this is how she sounded. I'm like, I said, Frederica, what's going on? She's like, girl, I got one cold sitting in front of the fan. So I was like, oh, Lord. And you know what she said whilst we were on the phone? And I don't even know if she realized it. She said, thank God for me for me feeling phenomenal. Thank God for me not having the flu. And she just kept on saying it. She said it, I think, about 4 times when we were on the phone. And y'all are listening to her this evening. There is no trace of that nasal, that sinus, none of it. And if I'm not mistaken, you probably didn't even take anything. You probably just spoke that right into existence.
The truth of the matter is, Coach Ra, I absolutely didn't. The only thing I did today was drank a lot of water, and I ate a bamboo shack, but I did not take anything. But whether we realize it or not, and I think next week this is what I want to talk about. The power is in your mouth.
Oh, yes, definitely.
There's a scripture that says that you can declare a thing and it will be established. And I don't want to sound like I'm preaching, but that is a fact. You can speak it, and I didn't even realize that I told you that. But because my mind is already starting to recondition to the point that I don't think of sickness, I was able to say that. And so here I am today. No sniffle, feeling really, really great, excited to be here, and looking beautiful at the same time. So there is there is no illness in me. There is none, you know, and so I'm just excited that we can speak something and it can be our reality.
Yeah, so I mean, it's amazing how today we only spoke about mindset, and it goes to show, honestly, guys, all of our listeners, this is Frederica, Coach Blacks, and myself's passion. Like when I say it's crazy. You know, we really have an ultimate passion for people really awakening the real them, the true them, because it's so in us. It's so there, you know. But I know growing up in the Caribbean, growing up in the Bahamas, you know, you're taught that there's only certain things you're meant to do. So you're either meant to go to school, you're meant to graduate, you're meant to go to college if you can. If you can't go to college, you're meant to get a job. And that's the cycle. Pay bills, it just starts this whole cycle of life. But we're not, we kind of stopped dreaming somewhere along the line. I'm not sure at what age exactly, and Coach Black, I don't know if you agree, but there's a point where we just stop dreaming. And we don't even believe that, you know, when we were smaller and we thought that we could go and build that huge yacht, we don't even believe that we can do that anymore. But that same person, go ahead.
What happened is most of the times our parents, because they figure that they're protecting us, are telling us, no, don't do this, don't do that. Oh, no, be careful, you're going to hurt yourself. And so
you're freezing.
It's a subconscious mind that initially it's the subconscious mind that's being developed. By the time the conscious mind is developed, they cannot do this, they cannot do that, they cannot do the other, and so they stop dreaming. And so there was a study that was done. Children at 4 years old, they surveyed a group of children, I think it was about 250. At 4 years were created by the time those same children. And so what our parents thought was to protect us really was destroying our creative side. And so we just stopped dreaming. We started to put limitations on ourselves. We started to not believe. But today, you have the great privilege of having two people who know that this works, that will help to coach you and mentor you to reactivate that creative side of you. If you don't use something, you lose it. But the great thing with the imagination is that you can rekindle it. And so that's what we want to help you to do.
So definitely to wrap up this evening, I want to remind everybody, if for those that are new to our webinar, please go back through the previous 3 sessions or 4 sessions that we have. You can check it out on our website. That would be www.fredricablackcoaching.com or http://coachmeruthann.com, and go through those first set of series, and basically that would assist you on what we were starting to talk about regarding the stress. Now remember, our next homework for everybody this week: dream, dream, dream. What are your dreams? Get them out on paper. And guys, we'd love to hear from you. Today we actually forgot to set up the question and answer. I don't know how I forgot that. I do apologize. So if there are any questions and answers and you were able to get on this through our Facebook invite, please go back to the event page on Facebook and ask us the questions there, and we will be more than happy to assist you. If you want personal assistance from either Coach Raw, myself, or Coach Black, please don't hesitate to hit us up on our websites and or on that page as well. You can find us there. And definitely understand and know we are here to serve, and we might not know who you are, but guess what? We believe in you. But do you believe in yourself? Have a great evening, and thank you so much. And Frederica, Coach Black, do you have anything else to say for the evening, or is that it? I think that's it. So I'm going to say good night and have a great one. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.